Welcome to the Nasboys podcast. Now, did you know that the NASCAR Cup Series has ran 147 races at Martinsville, and 57 of them have been won by a Chevy? The most wins by a Cup driver is, of course, Richard Petty with 15. So, anyways, guys, welcome to the Nasboys podcast. I'm your host, Mike, aka Mike Pop Fam 101, with my good friend and co-host Christian, aka Savage NASCAR.
What it do, Nasboys crew? And another thing to add on to the fact, Richard Petty actually had 30 top fives as well at Martinsville.
Nice. Yeah, not surprising at all. But let's get down to talking about some stuff. But before we begin with the actual NASCAR racing, I would just like to point out that for those of you that may know, me and Christian were running a NASCAR account, a NASCAR onboard account called NASCAR underscore onboards. And the reason why I say were is because last week, at the time we're recording this, it was unfortunately taken down. And it was very sad because we understand that it may have been because of copyright, but we don't know exactly what violated the copyright. And it's very unfortunate. But we are not giving up. We have made a new onboards account, but this time we're not only going to be posting NASCAR, we're going to be posting other forms of motorsports as well. And we're hopefully going to be more careful with our stuff. And we hope you guys enjoy the mix of content that we have. If you want to go follow us, the link will be in the description. But for now, it's Onboards Archive. I'm really excited to do this account because the NASCAR Onboards account was already established as a big account. So I'm really looking forward to building this account with Christian, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can get back what we had.
Yes, for sure, definitely. And I do want to say this: we weren't NASCAR affiliated. We were just posting onboard clips, of course, from NASCAR races. And as Mike said, we don't know what happened. We don't know like why we got taken down. I still don't know. I sent an appeal. Didn't get anything back. Never got email. We never got warning or anything. So we don't know whether it was because we used the NASCAR name, whether it was because of a certain broadcast. I don't know because yes, we were using some clips from earlier in the year, but I guess that's probably what really did us in. Was posting onboards from this season. So I guess it's a shame, of course, but we've gone over it. It's been a week since it's happened, and we have made the new account as Mike mentioned, and there's gonna be a lot of great content coming your way. And feel free to spread the word about the new account, follow it, and that's all I really gotta say.
Yeah, and justice for NASCAR onboards, we're still taken down, even though it said it was a suspension. But at this point, it's clearly a takedown. But, anyways, enough about that. Let's get into talking about some NASCAR this weekend at Homestead, Miami. Not too eventful of a weekend, but still some storylines to talk about. We're going to kick things off with the Truck Series. What did you think of it?
So the Truck Series race, they had all three series. They had the Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup. And for the Truck Series, I didn't expect Ty Majeski to put on a clinic. To be honest with you, I knew that he's going to get a win eventually, but I was like, I didn't expect him to lead like almost half the race. He led 67 of the 134 laps, and if I'm correct, I had Ben Rhodes winning that one. But he ended up winning. He started 18th, worked his way up. And Zane Smith, was it you or Cam that picked Zane Smith?
Cam didn't get a chance to make a pick this week. I believe I picked Zane Smith.
Yeah, Zane Smith did lead 26 laps, finishing second, and Ben, my pick, led 37, ended up finishing sixth. But truck race wasn't too eventful. Every car was actually running at the finish except for Spencer Boyd. John Hunter Nemechek had a problem early on. I don't remember if it was either a suspension issue or whatever. I know he had hit the wall at one point, and it basically knocked him out of contention and out of the playoffs. So that surprised me because I had John Hunter Nemechek in the Final Four for the Truck Series. So that's a shame because he had such a great year, and for him to be out is just crazy. But other than that, I don't really have much to say about the truck race. I thought it was kind of boring in my opinion, and I would say it was like a 4 out of 10 race.
Yeah, I didn't really get too much of a chance to watch it. From what you said, it just sounded like it sounded. Ty Majeski really dominating. I'm not surprised. Ty Majeski's a good driver. I'm a little shocked that he made it to the Final Four. I thought I don't think we even made our Final Four prediction for the Truck Series officially. I can't remember at least, but I think I got three out of my four correct because even though we didn't say it on the show, I still did it to myself. And I think I had either Hocevar or Nemechek in my final four, but the rest of them, both Smiths and then Rhodes, were correct. So interesting to see what's going to happen with the Truck Series Final Four.
Mhm.
I think it's going to be very competitive, and I'm very excited to watch it.
Definitely. I'm actually looking real quick to see if I had written down because I know I written down my cup predictions. Um, but I guess I didn't write down the truck ones. But
All right. No thoughts this week because your boy over here was busy and couldn't get it all done. So apologies for that. The thoughts will be back. But yeah, now let's move on. I guess we could talk about our driver of the day. My driver of the day is Ty Majeski.
yeah, Ty Majeski's definitely driver today.
Um, now let's talk about the Xfinity race. What did you think of it?
So for the Xfinity race, let me make sure I have my notes up. So for the Xfinity race, I think we all expect Noah Gragson to be in the championship four, and he pretty much clinched that with his win on Sunday. He spanked the field lead in 127 of 200 laps, with Ty Gibbs finishing second and AJ finishing third. Not surprised at all. Junior Motorsports cars were all up in the top 10 again. Josh Berry was the only one that didn't finish in top 10. He finished 11th, but yeah, I don't really know what to say. I will say that Brendan Poole has done a better job in this six car. Recently, he actually finished 14th in the race. So pretty soft for him. I guess Bailey Curry got 13th in the four car. So it seems like a little bit of improvements there with their team. But a lot of guys like Mike Snyder struggled. We saw Jeff Burton struggle, Jeremy Clemens, and of course, I saw that what's her name, Julia Langley or something like that, was making her like one of her first Xfinity starts. She finished 28th. Um, but now with them going to Martinsville, Sam Mayer is now 28 points behind Allmendinger for the cutoff spot, if I'm correct. And Martinsville is the final race for the round of 8 in the Xfinity playoffs. Of course, with Barry and Gregson, they had already clinched their spot championship for Gibbs third with 30 points above the cut line, with Allmendinger fourth. Justin Allgaier fifth right now, just outside of it, -5. Austin Hill -7. Mayer's behind it by 28. Brandon Jones had a horrible race at Miami. He struggled. He is now 38 points behind. Nothing really much to talk about the race, too. I mean, just this weekend, the races weren't that good, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think you pretty much summed it up again. Don't really know what to say. Noah Gragson getting, I think his eighth win of the season. That's really impressive. I never thought Noah Gragson would have a season like this. And like I said earlier in the playoffs, he's the clear favorite to win the championship. He's been so good on every track. And, he really deserves to be in the Cup Series. He's having his crew chief, Luke Lambert, come up. It's a little disappointing because for those of you that may not know or may not believe me, my cousin was actually the crew chief for Ty Dillon, and I don't know what's happening with him, but you know, good for Noah, I guess, but sucks for him. So,
And
um,
I don't see him laying up. I still have him as my championship pick for the
oh, no
Xfinity.
doubt. Hmm.
But Martinsville may be crazy. Who knows? We saw what happened in the spring, of course, with the big pop at the end of that and in the tempers. So we may see an interesting race for the Xfinity Series at Martinsville.
Oh, for sure. At my drive of the day, easily Noah Gregson, no doubt.
Well, that's unanimous.
Yeah. So now let's talk about the Cup Series. This one was a little more eventful than I thought. But what did you think of it?
The Cup race. So early on, the racing was really interesting. I didn't. I like the very. I missed the first couple laps because I was trying to see if the Formula One race was going to start. Because I wanted to actually watch a Formula One race for the first time because it was on for the first time in a while because it was on regular TV. So I'm like, okay, I may want to check it out a little bit. But the NASCAR race was pretty solid in the beginning. We had some three wide passing. Ross Chastain and Denny Hamlin had a little bit of close moments. Hamlin was running them up high, but Ross just shows his boss and his strength by holding his lane, which Bubba Wallace couldn't do, obviously. Um, but anyways, John Hunter Nemechek was doing pretty solid in replacement of Bubba until he spun out and choked that. But with the Cup race, though, I mean, what do we expect? I mean, I picked Larson to win this one. He's always been good at this track, and he's just so good at rolling the outside lane. And he led 199 laps and ended up getting the win. And Ross Chastain ended up finishing second, a much needed great points day for him because he hadn't clinched a spot in the championship floor and he needed a good run and he got one. There were some surprises though, like AJ finishing third, Austin Dillon fourth, and Keselowski fifth. I didn't expect to see those guys up there. But my fantasy team did really strong. Most of my drivers were in the top 15. Um, One thing I will mention though, Truex Jr. was holding up Denny Hamlin, which is kind of crazy because Denny Hamlin's in the playoffs. Truex want to let him by. So it just shows you can't really trust anybody at JGR. I mean, to be real, most of these guys, teammates always have a controversy around them or just can't get along because most of them just have a certain attitude. That's no offense intended, but it's the truth. So I thought the race was okay. It could have been better. I don't really like Homestead as much as I used to at all. And there was, of course, Chase Briscoe wrecking, unfortunately. So that's a shame. As you see, I have his flag right here. He's now in a must-win situation almost at Martinsville. He's pretty far back. And Tyler Reddick wrecked too. So that was very surprising to see. But Ron Blaney, I thought he was going to have a better run than he did because he was strong early and ended up finishing 17th. He kind of fell back. So a lot of guys in the Cup Series right now, like Blaney, Bell, with Bell having his problems last week, and then Chase Briscoe, all of them are like around 40 points or so back, 20 or 40 points back. So they need to work their way up and have good finish at Martinsville. And some of them probably would have to win to get in.
Yeah, taking a look at the highlights of it before we started the recording, it's actually really interesting. We saw four wide on lap one. That was really cool to see, but rest of it wasn't really too eventful. The racing itself wasn't, but there was some wrecks like Chase Briscoe, he spun. John Hunter Nemechek making his appearance for Bubba Wallace. He spun. Reddick, as you mentioned, spun. Reddick, like I said, every time I put him on my team, he does good. The week before I put him on my team, and then I'm like, oh, screw it, I'll put him on my team. He's good at Homestead. No, he spins out, and I can't replace him because I was busy at work. So thanks, Reddick, for yet again screwing me, even though I still won. So eat crap, Reddick.
Oh
Um,
boy.
no, but in all seriousness, we did see some pit road incidents. William Byron had a
Yeah.
little bit of a problem. He couldn't get his lug nut tightened, which equaled him going a little bit lower in the back. And then Martin Truex got spun out on pit road by Larson. Looked like it was an accident though,
Yeah.
so not a big deal. It was just a little weird because I mean we don't really see too many spins on pit road. Excuse me there, but yeah, it was overall I would say a decent race. I'd give it maybe a 6. Not too
Yeah.
bad, but not excellent either. So,
I will
um,
say real quick that I still find it stupid that they would penalize like the crew chief for a tire falling off. Like it just
Mm,
doesn't make any sense. Like if a tire falls off, that's not on the crew chief. That doesn't make any sense.
exactly.
Like why would you
Ex-
suspend someone 4 races for that? Back then, tires used to get away from everybody, and they didn't get penalized, they didn't get fined, they didn't get suspended. It just doesn't. It's just stupid, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I get why there's a penalty, but I don't think it should be the crew chief, and I don't think it should be for 4 races. I think that's a little bit overkill. I mean, everybody makes mistakes. They're all still learning with this tire. It's gotten better over the season, yes, but it's just stupid to penalize them 4 races, especially the crew chief. He just sits on the box and makes the calls and reads all the diagnostics. He doesn't, go down there and change the tire. And I mean, it's not like the pit crew members being lazy. They just make mistakes. They're human and they don't deserve to get a suspension either. Maybe, if anything, a fine. But other than that, no, it's not like the crew chiefs want that even to happen.
Yeah, plus, I mean, like, it's a new tire too, and they have to put it on a different way than they're used to. So it's just adding more, I guess, punishment to them, I guess, or making it their job even harder. And having, they have to go through the mental thing of, oh, if I don't have it on right, I'm gonna I'm gonna lose my job for like 4 weeks. Like
Right.
it's just stupid, honestly. Like,
I
it's
agree.
absolutely stupid. But
I completely agree.
what do the
Yeah.
people have to say about the race?
Well, again, because of me, there were no thoughts. Um,
Don't blame yourself.
it is my fault. I'm in charge of it, but yeah. Um, the driver of the day, unanimously Larson. Pretty much everybody who won is the driver of the day. So,
Yeah,
um,
they dominated, so pretty much makes sense. Real quick, let's look at the standings. Logano has already clinched the playoff spot.
yeah, baby.
Second right now in the Cup playoffs. Sorry, good.
I said, yeah, baby.
Yeah, cut out for a second, but yeah, Ross is second right now, 19 points above the cut line. Chase Elliott's third, 11 above the cut line. William Byron, 5 above the cut line and fourth. Denny Hamlin currently out of the cut line. He is fifth, -5. Blaney's -18 and sixth. Christopher Bell is -33 in seventh, and Chase Briscoe is -44 in eighth.
Interesting. Are there any memes this week? I didn't see any memes in the chat.
Yes, there is some memes we have for you. This one's a little bit outdated, but it came out like after the recording of last week's. But this is my meme of the week, and it's by Tremendation. As he made the meme of the Larson versus Bubba incident. Here it is.
Prank him, John.
Man, I don't want to talk.
Oh, great heavens!
Finish him, Daddy.
It was really, really funny, I think.
I think I saw that one, but I wasn't going to use it because it said the B word in it, and YouTube would take us down for that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it does have a little bit of language in it, but it is still still pretty funny. It caught me off guard. But another meme of the week that another meme for meme of the week is the fastest things on earth by NASCAR Memes IG. You got the cheetah, got the airplane, and the speed of light. But faster than all those, Kyle Larson, ripping the Walt Homestead.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one. That was pretty good.
So those are the memes of the week. But I guess we have some more topics we talk about before we get into Martinsville. I'm going to pull up the information for one of the news topics while I'm talking about this one. But I will say Rockingham has started repaving the track. There has been photos of that, which I'll probably end up posting sometime. But they have started doing some, like, I wouldn't say repairs, but just working on the track more. As there's pictures of construction vehicles. Of course, they've been working on the seats in turn 1 and 2. So that's pretty interesting. And did you see where there was going to be some type of like ice race?
Yeah, for the Euro series. Interesting. That's really interesting, and it's not really being televised from what I heard, at least in America. That should be nationally televised everywhere because that takes balls of steel to do that. That is what people want to see to get entertainment. So
For real.
they should show that everywhere. I actually want to see this.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy. I don't know how they're going to get that to work, but I'm interested in seeing how it's going to work. But as we're talking about tracks that are being worked on, North Wilkesboro, they're supposed to release some tickets on November the 2nd. Following the pre-sales, the remaining of the All-Star Race weekend packages will go on sale on at noon on Wednesday, November the 2nd, with the option to add a 2-day late model event package. Individual late model tickets will be sold at a later date. So they're also supposed to run that week of the All-Star Race the CRA Super Late Model Series, the Cars Late Model Series, and the Craftsman Truck Series
Okay.
as
You
well.
got it.
On Friday and Sunday in the Cup race. Also race I think is supposed to
Yeah,
be
but you got to say how much they
Sunday or
are.
Saturday. Yeah, there's a lot of racing going on, but I saw some things a little bit shocking about some of the ticket prices. Now, these are rumors, but I do know that there's supposed to be 25,000 seats and it's going to be hard to get everyone in there. I mean, when Junior came to the late models race, so the Cars Tour race earlier this year, it was about 20,000 or so, and not everyone could get in, and traffic was backed up for a while. I heard a rumor that parking is $100, and also heard that some of the prices for some of the tickets are going to be around 299 for a package, if I'm correct. I do know that they're going to give the options. Some early tickets or the first pass of tickets, if that makes any sense, will go to the Wilkes County residents, which makes sense. I'm okay with that. But there was a lot of people complaining about the tickets and stuff on Twitter, which of course Twitter's a little toxic. So I saw a lot of crazy stuff going on there. But what's your thoughts on some of this?
I was waiting for this one when you were going through the tickets, so apologies for being a little impatient. But $299, pretty much $300 plus $100 to park. That's $400 right there for a weekend for what? Let's just say you're going to the cup race. That's ridiculous right there. I mean, I'd pay $400 maybe for the full package, like, late model, cup, truck, all that. I would pay $400 for that, but I'm not paying $400 for, first of all, $300 a ticket. Let's just say I don't know. Let's just say me, then my parents, they're NASCAR fans. They'd probably want to go, so then I'd have to buy tickets for them. That's $900 right there plus parking. That's $1,000 right there for what? I get that it's the All Star race. I get that it's a historic event. Wilkesboro's coming back. Everybody of all ages is excited for it. And don't get me wrong, I'm here for it. But $1,000 if you're getting multiple people and it's rising up more depending on how big your group is going to be. Like, give me a break, NASCAR. Like, you could make the tickets a little cheaper. Again, I get it's the All Star race. I get it's history, but dude, nobody wants to pay $300 almost for tickets per person just for and prices are rising up everywhere. People got to get gas, they got to get groceries, all that stuff, pay their bills, pay for kids to school, you name it, they got to pay for it.
Yeah.
And nobody has the money except for like the really rich to go and pay $300 almost to go to a NASCAR race. So I think it's ridiculous. And as much as I want the race to sell out, I hope NASCAR learns a lesson, at least in the coming months, considering the races next year, that they'll lower it and then it will sell out once it gets lowered. But the opening ticket prices are absolutely ridiculous, man. I couldn't believe that when I saw that.
Yeah, it is really wild, Mike. And I mean, $100 for parking is like Formula One. Like I don't
That's
get
even
it.
ridiculous.
But I mean, I get that it's the first like NASCAR Cup like race there in a while and all that, but the ticket prices are a little crazy. I do know that the concession price is going to be really cheap though, which is pretty cool. They're going to only I think hot dogs are going to be $2 and soda is going to be $2,
Yeah,
which is pretty nice.
you'll
What?
spend $1,002 if you get one soda. Woo!
But anyways, yeah, I really want to go, but I mean, with their announcement of everything, like they're going to start selling tickets, of course, in November and everything. And since they've already announced the dates, I'm not going to be surprised if the website crashes again, like they tried to do about a month ago. They tried to have the early ticket thing
Yeah.
with the donation to a charity, and guess what? The website crashed, and no one that I knew that were trying to get in at the same time could get the website to work, or the information wasn't working. I even heard that some people, their payment process went through, but they never got any email confirmation. So I'm concerned about how they're going to run this. I'm sure they will do things well because SMI does a lot of great stuff, but how are they? I'm just hoping that the website doesn't crash and that people are respectful and that everything will go well. But then again, at the end of the day, there's going to be people that are going to be upset when they don't get a ticket.
And if you don't get a ticket, go to StubHub. Not sponsored.
Stuff.
But yeah,
Anyways,
no, in all seriousness, I think it might be Kentucky 2.0. I mean, there's going to be so many people, whether it would be, I don't mean it like it's going to be a bad track. I don't know. I don't know how it will run on the next gen car. But what I mean is, if you guys don't know, Kentucky, when it first came on the schedule, was a very hyped up track. They were making it sound like the next best NASCAR track. It was going to be a classic. And it was I mean, everybody knows Kentucky was not the best track, but the first race there, the traffic was backed up for miles.
yeah,
That's what I see with Wilkesboro, because first of all, you're going to have the Wilkes County residents that have been longing for racing there for years. And then you're going to have other people traveling from North, South Carolina, maybe even other states to come to this race. So I wouldn't be surprised if the traffic really is backed up for miles, even just to get a glimpse of the track, not even to go in, just to get a glimpse of the track and to hear the noise. So
yeah. And I know, like y'all know that I've been there a couple of times, and I will say that there is going to be traffic problems because I know what their parking is like. They do have parking spaces, but yeah, how are they going to get all those people in on that one road? I mean, I just don't see it because there's a couple ways you get to the track, but the two lane roads they're going to be backed up for miles. I mean, whenever the car tour came last, I heard traffic was backed up for at least 10, 15 miles and not
yeah,
everyone could get in. So
I believe it.
yeah, it's gonna be wild, but I guess now we can move on to Martinsville.
Yeah. For the Xfinity race, I think this will be very interesting. Obviously, there's two more Final Four spots up for grabs. A lot of great contenders. Justin Allgaier could still get a spot. AJ Allmendinger, I think he will definitely get a spot. I'm not picking him to win the race. I just think he will get a point spot. But my pick for the race is Ty Gibbs, the man who caused the controversy there last time with that fight with Sam Mayer. I think he's going to get it. He's a very aggressive racer. As we know, he's been a little bit cleaner because I think he's seen a lot of the criticism, and I'm sure somebody told him to tone it down so that way it doesn't bring a black eye to Joe Gibbs. Um, but yeah, I think Ty Gibbs will win. I think this is just the type of moment that he needs. I think he's going to be very aggressive, and hopefully we see a good race.
Yeah, hopefully we do, Mike. And that's a really good pick. I mean, he has been strong on some of the short tracks this year, and he's been really consistent.
You're cutting out a lot.
For the Xfinity race, I'm looking at a
There
couple
we go.
guys. I'm looking at, of course, Ty Gibbs. I was thinking of Sheldon Creed. He has plenty of short track experience. Justin Allgaier as well. He's done pretty solid in Martinsville, but ends up being caught up in wrecks. So I am actually going to do a surprise pick here, and it's someone who's not in the playoffs, and that is Sammy Smith in the 18. I think Sammy Smith will win, and yeah, he'll just be in the right position.
Wow, I did not expect Sammy Smith. For the Cup race, I picked him last week, but I'm gonna go with it again. William Byron. Um, I think that first off, I hope this is a better race because that last race at Martinsville in the spring was one of the worst Martinsville races, if not the worst Martinsville race I have ever seen. Um, I don't know. We'll see how William Byron can do. Some other drivers. I mean, Joey Logano, he's already locked in, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's up front contending again. Martin Truex, he's not in the playoffs, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's there. Look for Denny Hamlin as well to try to get in. This is his last opportunity to try to get to the championship four. I wouldn't be surprised. Ryan Blaney looked pretty good in the spring. Some upset picks, maybe Almirola. Custer did really good here last year. He got a top 10. Um, so yeah, man, like I said, I just hope it's a good race. I want to see Martinsville be a classic track again and not boring where the leader gets at the 10-second lead and
Yeah.
it's basically no passing.
Yeah, I mean, I want to get 3 in a row right, because I've had all the other round of 8 races correct. Of course, I had Logano winning at Las Vegas, had Larson winning at Homestead. Martinsville, there's always like Chase Elliott. He's going to contend. He's been really strong in Martinsville over the years. He always seems like he's up in the top 10 there every year.
Yeah. Forgot
So
about him too.
I think he's just going to get in points. I don't think he's going to win the race. He's going to get in by points. Of course, my championship four, which I had Joey, Larson, Elliott, and Suarez. But Logano, I didn't have in the round of 8 or in the championship four prediction. But I did have, of course, Larson, Elliott, and Suarez. But the driver that I also had in the championship four that is going to win on Sunday, I guarantee it. Denny Hamlin is going to win at Martinsville.
Ooh.
He has won there so many times, and he almost won last year until he got taken out, which was pretty crazy and had me jumping off my couch. So, yeah, I think Denny Hamlin will win the race. I think it will be more eventful than last time, and we probably will see some crazy moments. I want to say Cole Custer is going to get a top 5. That's kind of a bold pick there. I would say all the Hendrick guys are going to be in the top 10. As we mentioned at the top of the show, Chevrolet has won like the most races there. So I can see them, Chevy winning, but I have Hamlin doing it though. That's my picks for Martinsville. By any chance, did you see Todd Gilliland's paint scheme?
I might have. It might ring a bell.
Bro, it was sushi, right? It's a sushi company and it's pink. It's actually
Well,
kind of
it's
cool.
well, it's on the screen right now, so I will be looking at that when I edit the video.
Yeah. So that's gonna do for the episode, I guess, unless you have
Yeah.
anything else you want to discuss.
Well, I guess the last thing I got to say is I'm sticking with my final four: Logano, Byron, Chastain, and Elliott. But yeah, that will close the episode out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. Make sure you guys follow our socials. Once again, make sure you guys follow the new Onboards account, Onboards Archive. And we will see you guys in the next episode. God, this lawnmower is annoying me. Peace.
Yeah.